Back. Welcome back.
What
Are we in California? We got an earthquake. 6 points. I'm just saying. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Having some fun. Spice it up a little. See if we can get YouTube to throw up on themselves. Well, welcome to Is Your Six Covered and the X-Ring are here once again. Busted live.
Not yet.
Your video went what? Straight to
It went straight to
demonetized.
demonetization. But it's being re-uploaded because there were some issues with it with the sound. So it'll be back up in just a little bit.
All right, I want to fix this camera because the big earthquake done messed it up. All right.
What's up, Brian T. and everyone else?
Let's do this. Let's get a little crazy tonight. Let's see who got first place real quick. I always got to know. The Shaggy Rifleman got first place. Mississippi Buckeye. Big country. Big country. Finally got that review out, my friend. Car Kane. Andy Nelson. DW says, what the hell? San Miguel. Killadata. Dusty Rhodes. Stratos 27. Tyler Orth. The Shaggy Rifleman. Stephen Bradley. Jerry Parker. 80 Baja. Welcome to the show. Let's see. Orson Humphrey's out there. Six Rudders. Six Rudder is going to be on Squad 2 at Clinton House.
I think I remember that.
Yep. Then we got CDW. Papa's Place is out there. Who else? Who else is out there before we get going? David J. And, whoa, Brian T. Nancy Mink. Commando 97. Pravada Racing's out there. Otter's out there. 45 Auto. Larry Funk, won't you take me to Spy Sweepers out there? And Mike 21 STI so far. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having an enjoyable night. It is 9:07, so we're doing pretty good. A couple minutes late. What up, Mr. Matt Cross? And Matt's out there. Lynn Holt. Yeah, we were trying to get old Matt P to show up tonight, but
yeah, he didn't do it.
He just said, I don't want to. I'm tired. So.
Thanks, Bravado Racing. Like I said, I'll get that uploaded again here in just a minute. But yeah, I'm really thankful to Big Country for sending that Arkin our way. And yeah. I think it does a good. I think the video will do a good job of showing the differences. Like I said, you don't have to have a high end scope. You know,
no, we shot targets.
Yeah, 372 yards.
Yeah, would have been more if it wasn't so muddy out there.
Yeah,
it was. It did rain, I guess, a few days before we went out to the cornfield, and it was a mud pit. So it was.
All your scopes are mounted, aren't they?
Yeah.
You don't have any unmounted scopes?
No.
All right. Never mind then.
No. Wait.
It's okay.
No, I think all of them mounted up. Might as well, right?
45 Auto says it'd look good enough for the likes of him and the girls he goes out with.
Let's see. Had a great day today.
You did some shooting.
Traumatized some peeps with my sense of humor. Not one of my best moments, but definitely had a great day. I did a lot of stuff today. I had a good lunch, the family, and then did some shooting. Went to the doctor, got my little spot on my head looked at, and it burned a couple things here, right there, and right there. So I froze them or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully.
What's up, Charles Tiffy?
Hopefully I'll live to see another day. Had pork chops tonight. We got this good little restaurant down the way that's got a killer pork chop. So I've probably had more pork chops in the last 3 months than I've had probably my entire life. They're good.
Same here. I've never been much on pork chops, but those pork chops are good.
Should be getting my, what's this say, Mac? Oh, what is that, gallon? 6 arc any day. Now I need to find some good glass. Yeah, James, if you can. There is differences. If we can talk about scopes for a little bit. Depending on, what kind of light you're dealing with, as far as if it's a nice bright day compared to if you're shooting through a tunnel of trees and it's pretty shadowy or dark even. I think that's where you notice the top end scopes where they start to really like.
Okay, I'm going to go on a limb and say it because you're headed in the right direction. The thing is, it's really hard to evaluate a scope when all you've done is hold it in your hands or at a gun store or at SHOT Show and you're looking around because you've got good crisp lines and everything else. It's when you go outside and you're in the trees and you have, or the woods or whatever, and you have all of this foliage that you're dealing with all of these different basically focal planes.
Yeah, that are all interacting.
And unless you can really get behind the gun and shoot them back to back to back, it's going to be hard to tell. But once you get used to the really, really high end glass, whether it's a Schmidt or, let's say, a Tangent or a Collis or a Night Force, unless you use those all the time and then you go down to a lower end, let's say like, the entry level Diamondback that you've got, right?
Yeah, it's over there.
A $300 scope. That's when you look at it and you're like, oh, it's horrible. But if all you've ever done was shoot those, I don't think you're going to notice it when you look through that other glass. You'll be like, oh, it's pretty clear. The resolution's there.
Well,
but it's what you get used to. It's not necessary. I will tell you this. It's not necessary. You can still make the impacts just like we did. For those that haven't seen the video, like I said, it'll probably be up in the next 30 minutes or so by the time we get done with the chat. But we were able to mount it on the CZ and engage the exact same target, same distances against the Voodoos, 3 different Voodoos, and get just as many impacts, if not more, in some cases, using that Arkin than the Razor HD, the Night Force, the Burris XTR3, because it tracks, and that's the most important thing, is the tracking and getting it set up properly.
And it did track very well.
Yes, it did.
It did. When I had a chance to look through the reticle and we were down at the range, you do see it once you start powering up in magnification, as far as getting milky. But like you said towards the end of your video or wherever you ended up putting it, I remember you were talking during when we were recording, but it can do anything you need it to do. Tracking's the biggest portion of it, I would say.
Yeah, thanks for that information, Chris Estes. He's talking about the MPA BA hybrid chassis. There were some in stock at Extreme Guns and Ammo in Richmond, Texas. I was kind of waiting to see who I was going to get my barreled action from, the Voodoo. And unfortunately, it's not going to come from Altus. They are completely sold out until the next shipment, which comes in April. But I've been able to source another one. But at this point, I don't know. I might just throw it in the XLR in the meantime, or I might borrow Rick's because this is in the Matrix right now.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Matrix,
yeah,
what are your opinions now that you got 2 days behind that chassis in that particular barreled action? We're not talking about a full-size PRS gun that weighs considerably more.
Well, I would say today is when I really actually got to shoot it. The other day it was just prone. I don't even consider that like really getting to try it out. I did a lot of positional stuff with bags, running it on the tripod, and I'm still up in the air on it. I actually just Ray comes over and he's like, "What is all that stuff all over the ground?" And I'm working on a custom grip for it. It's a little bit different. This started off as a swept, and I'm kind of turning it into a vertical grip, but thinning it out a little bit. This is one of the grips that came with it. So I'm tinkering with it. I changed the shelf on the thumb rest last night. I changed the, I don't know what the terminology is for it, but, to keep your finger at a certain location, whatever the heck that's called. So I've been messing with it. The more you get, the more you use anything, obviously it gets a little more comfortable. But I'm up in the air on whether I like it more than the hybrid. Right as now, I would say if I had to jump on a chassis and I could only pick one, just because I've been using the hybrid, I would pick that as of right now for a Rimfire chassis. But I'm starting to like it more, which is good because when I first got it, I wasn't too hip on it. I wasn't disappointed in any way. Very well made. There was a lot of weight towards the rear, which, depending on what you're going to put it in, whatever type of barreled action you're going to put it in. But I don't know. It's still up in the air. I would say I'm starting to like it a little more. I'm going to shoot these next couple matches with it and give it a shot because you really got to go out there and try it. and put it in its element to really get the full effect of it, I think.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. But I do like it a lot more today than I did when I first got it. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I held my judgment, because initially when Rick had it upstairs, I looked at it and I was like, all right, well, it might not appeal to me that way, but it might fit and feel like better than anything I've ever held.
Yeah.
And then I immediately pulled it up and I was like, not my cup of tea. That was my initial impression.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, with anything, especially with you making these modifications, you could get it to fit. My biggest complaint with that Matrix chassis is that thumb hole. Like I stated, the palm with my hands, what I noticed when you were shooting it today, where they have the scallop cuts out, your palm is actually forwards of that. It's actually not in that inset. For me, it actually falls in the inset.
There's this tiny, we're talking about this little part of the pad. It kind of goes into the hole, and it just depends on.
With you reducing that, that's actually going to put it there.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I do mind it when we're shooting in 20-degree weather like we were.
Yeah, and it's that
gun was it was freaking cold. I don't even know if you can show this. Look at this, YouTube. This is a grip off of a evil firearm. Go ahead and shut the channel down.
That looks like you whittled that out of a piece of balsa wood.
It is. Yeah, that's all belt ground. This thing is starting to feel really good. I got a couple ideas with this after I get done with getting perfection. Well, like you see my M1 carbine over there, I custom made that for my hand. That one over there, I did the same thing.
You're always customizing everything. All your guns.
So I like doing stuff to make it for me. So we'll see what happens. Comparison with Vortex, San Miguel.
All right, so
Swamp Fox option.
I've got a lot of experience with higher end scopes, like too high end.
Yeah,
but when it comes to the lower end stuff,
Josh.
I don't have as much experience, and I'll be the first to tell you that. But in the stuff that I've showed on the channel and everything else, I will probably have to do what is that? Is that a Diamondback?
That's the Diamondback.
Okay, I'm going to put the Diamondback at the lowest end. And honestly, the price actually reflects kind of where we're going with this. Diamondback's going to be at the lowest end. I'm going to put the Arkin just above that. Okay, that's $500. Then I'm going to go with the new Strike Eagle 6.2, whatever it is. The Vortex Strike Eagle.
That PS.
No, it's the new Strike Eagle. It's Strike Eagle PST. That's an $800 scope. And then I'm going to go right up from that, and I'm going to go the Burris XTR2. Then it's going to be the Primary Arms Platinum. Now, these are for precision rifle with external turrets and all that other stuff. And then from there, I am going to put the XTR3 just above that. And then I'm probably going to have to go Vortex Razor HD 4.5 to 27. These are scopes that I have experience with, that I've owned for a long time or shot for a long time. With the exception being the Arkin, which isn't mine, but I've actually had it for a couple of weeks now. We played with it now for 2 weeks, and then all day at the range yesterday, and then today I was doing the video comparison. And then you're going to get into your. Then I'm going to put Schmidt and Bender below Night Force. So that's where I'm at with my list right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and I learned something today too. Because
you should always learn something.
Yeah, you should always learn one thing a day. So I had always been told, I'd never had to use their warranty, but I'd always been told that Night Force only has a 1-year warranty. Night Force does not have a 1-year warranty. They have a limited lifetime warranty, transferable, but the electro-optics, anything like an illuminated reticle or any of that, is only warranted for 3 years. So that was good news. I've never had to send a Night Force in yet, knock on wood. I'm getting wood. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, I am going to say Vortex. And if Burris is watching, so be it. But I want to say Vortex Razor HD 4.5 to 27 over the XTR3, because the XTR3 does not have illumination. So yes,
someday it might.
That is going to be my choice.
Someday it might.
Yeah, it might. I've heard tell that might happen.
There's and that's kind of according to yours and basically everybody's out there. When you talk about the Diamondback, it is $399. Then you talk about the Arkin, that's $499, and you $700.
The price kind of reflects It
So-
has nothing to do with my choice on that.
What's up, Gamma?
If you took the price completely out of the equation and gave me those scopes and gave me time to evaluate them, I would still
you
come up
put
in
them-
that order.
yeah.
It would be that order.
There was a huge difference. So you guys know I like Vortex. I shoot Vortex. And when I jumped onto the Burris, the 2, I was like, remember I was not happy at all with it. I know they make the 3 and it's a lot nicer, definitely nicer, clear glass, but you can tell a difference once you start shooting with something of nicer quality. I've said this a million times on this channel. A scope is an investment. Spend the money. You don't need to, you put that nice investment onto your next rifle. If you only have one scope, it only takes like 5 shots to re-zero. Takes Ray like 1, but just toss it, keep tossing it over to whatever match you're shooting or whatever type of matches are up in the area. Instead of buying, 4 or 5 shitty scopes or not as great of scope, maybe spend the money, save up the money first, and buy some of really decent, good quality glass.
I'm just amazed at how much or how many options we have now as long range shooters. Because, and I've said it before on the channel, it wasn't that long ago this Arkin optics would have been up at the very top, being first focal, 50 BMG rated, illuminated reticle. All of that was unheard of back in the day in, the late 80s, early 90s.
You'd have been only, Night Force and Schmidt and Bender probably?
Well, no. Back then it would have been Leupold Mark IV. That was the scope to have. Gotcha. That was it, Schmidts at the time were way, way, way up here, but they were almost unobtainium at the time. They've actually come down in price, but their quality was much higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do pay for quality. You pay a lot of quality control, These guys that are putting them in the boxes, the more expensive they are, they're really checking stuff before they put them in that box and send them on its way. So, but you can get a bad one.
No. Primary Arms Platinum above the XTR2, but below the XTR3.
That was a great scope. I use that.
That is a good scope, and I did like the Primary Arms. I had that for 6 months before I even reviewed it.
Yeah.
That's an $1,800 scope. The burst comes in right at $18, $19. I think MSRP is like $2,000. But the glass is really, really good on that XTR3. That XTR3 glass is online. And if you watch the video, once I repost it, it's online. It's in line with the Razor HD glass. No doubt about it. It's just as good as.
Now, I would say if you're going to shoot PRS, and I like Vortex over anything really, just because I don't know why, but they do have better reticle options.
Choices, yeah. No, Vortex is listening. This is why they sell so many. And
I'm talking about Burris. I like that Burris.
Oh, the Burris reticle. Yeah. They've only got a couple.
They do only have a couple, but that one for PRS, I really like that one.
Yeah, the SCR2.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do remember distinctly, because I really pay attention to this, guys, and I have a lot of people ask me about Meoptiscopes, and I do have experience with those, but they were older ones back in the day. One of the biggest things that drives me crazy about a scope is any type of what they call barrel distortion, or what most people would call fish eyeing, okay? If I see any of that in a scope, I don't want it, period. I don't like any type of distortion where it has that fisheye effect, okay? That drives me nuts. I want on a scope that has
the one thing I would say that I noticed on the Arkin that I really didn't like was you had to
unforgiving
be
eye
spot on. You had to be like perfect, or like you could jump on a razor and kind of do this and still be good.
Yeah, it's like disappears black. Oh, it's got to be dead on with the Arkin. That is one of the things.
That was one of the things I noticed.
Yeah, when you get into the whole science of optics and exit pupil and chromatic aberration and coma and all this other stuff that's going on getting those lenses, that's what you're paying for with the higher end stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so now that you've talked about quality scopes, is it equally as important to pair a quality set of rings and scope base with that good scope? RC Hellerman, absolutely.
Well, you let RC answer this. So you buy a really nice scope, and then every time you shoot it, the zero is not working right. would you be happy? No.
No,
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that, Rick. This is where I would kind of dispute that. I don't like cast stuff. Okay, for rings, for bases, I like stuff that's machined, that's really, really good quality. What is the? I hate to call them out on it. I think I know which one it is. Okay, so what cantilever did Kreiderman go with? Do you remember on his Tika T3?
He went. Oh, I don't know. Actually, he's out there, so he can answer.
If I'm not mistaken, it's this, and it's the older pepper mount, the PEPR mount.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's got to be good quality. I mean, it's that foundation for that scope. So yeah, I don't typically skimp on bases and rings.
TB's getting ready to order a Voodoo. What was the last date they told you? Because I already ordered mine, so it's on its way.
Yeah, the earliest you're going to be able to get one is if you get on the pre-order list, which they haven't opened it up yet, for the April delivery. That's through Altus Shooting Sports. I think they're pretty much sold out everywhere.
Altus TB. They're out of Florida. Altus. ALTUS. Let's go back up here. Did we miss any? I'm sure we missed a bunch.
Yeah, I haven't, George Wilson, I haven't made that one live yet. I'll make it live once we get done with this chat.
All right, let's see. TB says, smash the thumbs up button, everybody.
My favorite rings are Night Force rings, period, end of story. Those are my favorite ones. You know, Badgers are good, Loopholds are good.
I'm not a ring fan at all.
Yeah, it just depends on the application. There's a lot of them that I just want rings.
Now, like, what's the reasoning behind it? Like, this could be a good topic. Like me, I like a one piece.
Yeah.
And why
you want a one piece cantilever or just a one piece?
A one piece. It doesn't. Well, if it's cantilever, if it like on my Tika, I got a cantilever. On my 6 Creed, I got a cantilever. But like the last two that I bought are just regular.
See, back in the day, you know, cantilevers are really only used for like AR stuff. You're trying to get it up, you're trying to get it forwards. Mm-hmm. And I am seeing more guys doing what you do, and that is throwing cantilevers on their bolt guns. Yeah. Typically, a bolt gun, a classic look, is going to be rings on top of that. But I think with the advent of, you know, Spur coming onto the scene and F3R, where you can add Picatinis for levels and dope cards and all this other stuff, I think you're starting to see a lot of options now that you didn't have before.
Yeah, and I just feel like it gives me more room for the eye box to move forward and backwards. See, like if you look at that one, I got some room to go forward and backwards, and then this one I got room to go forward if I need. And that one I just happen to have that one because that's the one Reagan.
Yeah,
buddy of ours. Yeah.
All right.
What does Ramsey country prefer? Let's see here. Tyler or Spur are annoying having the short distance between rings. Spur are annoying having short distance. Well, and it depends on which one you order, Tyler. They do make one that's really close together. Elster's, what up? Did you learn your lesson from showing an aluminum tube? yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought Kreiderman had a pepper. Bill Sweeney, okay. This is a great question. What's your opinion of the Burris XTR signature rings? It does give you a lot of options, no doubt about it. And basically they have inserts in there, and there's 0s, 5s, 10s. So basically you have adjustability from 0 minutes of angle 20s. Within the ring set all the way up to like 40 minutes of angle. However, it does take a while, because not only can you adjust it this way, you can also make them eccentric, basically. So if you don't have those inserts in there where the semispheres are flat like this, and let's say you have them canted like this, you can correct. Now, that's a good thing. It's a European design from way back in the day. You ever picked up a rifle? Actually, there's a guy that he actually shoots with us sometimes. He had bought a Savage, and it was his first precision bolt gun, and he puts on a brand new set of rings and a scope, and there wasn't enough right travel. He could not get it to go right enough. This would solve that problem.
Yeah.
Now, it was a machining error from Savage, and it had nothing to do with the bases, but basically the holes were drilled just a little bit off, and so it was pointing it in the wrong direction. Well, those signature rings give you the ability to get more adjustment left and right as well, or even on a diagonal plane. Their directions leave a little bit to be desired.
You actually
found some
called
errors.
them.
I called them and told them that your diagram was actually wrong.
What's crazy is nobody noticed that.
Well, it happens. It happens.
No, it does happen for sure.
But
basically, just the way they were saying it, it needed to be flipped.
And I have a couple set of the signature rings, and they work well. It just takes a little while to get set up.
Yeah, it's really cool that there's a lot of options available.
Yeah,
within that set, but that's also something that somebody could screw up too if they weren't. This isn't working, or now you're bending the tube because you got something going on or whatever. Let's see.
Wingnut, congratulations. He said he learns a lot from this channel as a new boom owner.
Appreciate it.
This is one of the things I want to bring up because someone actually called me tonight. We've covered it before on the channel.
Oh, here we go.
I need something that is not going to be deemed as a firearm. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Here is our scope. All right, give me that one. Yeah, give me that one. That way I'm not shaking my drink up. So you get your brand new scope, and whether it's an Arkin, whether it's a Vortex, it doesn't matter. The way that I set it up, because the gentleman that called me tonight had some questions about it, I was like, don't overthink it, man. Just keep it this simple. This is what you want to do. And if Charles or Ramsey Country, you guys want to, chime in on this, this is the way I set it up.
What side's the barrel?
This is going to be your objective. This is going to be the eyepiece that you look through, okay?
Okay, there you go.
So
barrel's over here, guys.
What I do is I mount it onto the rifle. Now, forget all the level and stuff and everything else. That you got to do. But now we're talking about the eye relief. And what I do is I go ahead and set it on the highest magnification. So let's say it's a 25 or 27. Go ahead and set it on the max. And then you want to go ahead and get in like the prone position. Prone is going to be the most stable position you're probably going to be able to find, where you've got your bipod in your bag. And, we'll get into length of pull and all that some other time. But what we're trying to do is get it on max power, so that when you're comfortable and you're behind the rifle, you open it and you're not having to creep forwards or creep rearwards. What you want to do is adjust that scope forwards or rearwards so that on max power, it is perfect, because it'll only get better when you power down. But what you don't want to do is power up. You're rarely going to be that high up in competition. However, if you're, zeroing your rifle or whatever, you want it set right. Now, that's the first step. You get all that set. Now the problem is what do I do with this thing on the back? Okay. Some people call it a focus, and this is where you're adjusting your ocular. What you want to do on that before you do anything else is you want to take your parallax, not your focus, but your parallax. Think of it as a focus, but it's really your parallax. You want to put it on infinity. Okay. That's the first thing. Put it on infinity, put it on max power. And then what you want to do is looking at blue sky, not the sun. Don't do that. You want to shoulder the rifle, keep your eyes closed, and you want to open it and then close it. And it's good to have a buddy with you, because he can move it without you having to break your position. But only open your eye for about 1 second or so, because then your brain's going to start saying, we need to try to focus on that. You don't want that to happen. So just have him do it like an optometrist does it. Better or worse. He doesn't even need to tell you what. Better, worse. And what he's doing is like quarter or eighth turns until what you're looking for is that reticle to be crystal clear as you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And so better, worse, better, worse. Once you get that set, if it's a Night Force, lock your ring down, or whatever type scope you have, you want to lock it down, or take you a little like a Sharpie pencil, like a metallic Sharpie pencil, and mark it, because you don't need to ever change that again. Leave that alone. Okay. That is set for you. Don't loan your rifle to a buddy who's going to change all of that, or at least you need to have an indicator on where that's at. So that's going to be set for your eye. Everybody's different.
We deal with that.
Yeah. Huh?
We were, oh, good. Finish.
Rick and Matt see reticles completely differently than I do. Okay. Where mine is set for me. I can look through your rifle and the reticle's hazy. I can look through Matt's rifle. It's hazy. But I don't have 20/20 vision. Mine's a little different, so that's why. So once you get it set, then what you want to do is you're good there. You lock that down. Now when you go and you actually get on the rifle and you are looking at a target, that parallax, now don't just go by the numbers. Those are just indicators, because remember that parallax doesn't know what you've done back here.
Yeah.
They're just guidelines for you.
It's just so you can get it close for.
So where this gentleman was getting lost tonight was he was like, all right, I understood that part. I got that part down. Now what am I doing with the parallax? The parallax is getting your reticle and your target on the same plane, okay? The same focal plane, if you will. If you have those offset, you're going to get more parallax error. And if you look through the scope and you move your head a little bit left, right, up, and down, if you see this going on,
the target,
then you are on two different focal planes. So that parallax is what's getting that on the same plane. So you move your head up and down, you might just get a little bit of movement up and down, and that's it. That's what the parallax is so important. That's how you set up the scope. Now let's see what if Charles says, I agree, and Ramsey's Country says, I agree, then we know that's the right way of doing it.
He looks behind a white wall.
Yeah, white wall will work. We just use blue sky because you want to be in that infinity range, which we know that's infinity. But white wall will work as well.
So I did that today, just to confirm it.
Yeah, he puts witness marks on it. He hates people when he adjusts his
just weld it.
focus.
JB weld that thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's a difference though. So, you're up here, you're shining into the sky. And what would normally look normal, like you could shoot it and it would be pretty darn decent, right? So you're shooting it all day, you're shooting it. Decent. And you do this blue sky and actually start tweaking with it. Because remember, I had the cover off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to confirm it because I was shooting with Kreideman the other day and he was tweaking with it. Oh, go ahead, man. It only takes a second to fix. There is like a window where it's clear. It's clear. It gets blurry. And then like it comes back in again and then like crystal clear.
Yeah.
So
now this will be the first time I've ever disagreed with Ramsey Country. He says he does not like numbered parallax knobs.
Oh,
I do. And the reason is on a stage where they don't let you get behind the rifle. If I know the first target is 250 yards, well, I kind of know where my numbers are at anyway on the optic that I'm shooting, whether it's pretty close or if it's way off. And I'll just go ahead and throw it to 250. That way I know when I come up on that rifle, I'm going to be pretty darn close. Yeah. And it's not going to be the time that I'm going to have to get that thing where the parallax is perfect on it. It just gives me a guideline. There are scopes that just have little hash marks in them. The old Night Force ATACers were like that, or the NX8s were like that.
And I think you said it before, but it's not going to be perfect.
But it's close enough.
Yeah,
to
but
take
you can go, you know.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool too is I did it on actually the day we were shooting with Kreideman. So we were shooting a target at 50 and then at 200 yards.
Yeah.
So I kind of just went in the middle. You know what I mean? I think I went to like 150.
Yeah, Outlaw Josie Wells says there's one made in Italy, the Aldera Versus, and then Spur lookalike, MK Machining. Also check out the new MDT one piece.
Yeah, and some of those are super expensive. The Spur especially. It's a great mount, but it's very expensive.
Stream. I don't know.
We got to add before the stream.
I got to step out for a bit.
All right.
I got to go upstairs actually.
Do you? If you're looking for my rifle stuff, it's still in the car. Oh, all right. Get rid of that pork chop, my friends. Make Rick wear masks. That cough sounds nasty. Yeah, that cough's been around for a long time, buddy. 62, only 7 more before the stream is perfect. Shaggy Rifleman. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we need a few more of those. That'd be great. Those guys are saying hit the thumbs up button. Let me try to get out here to some questions here. What the hell? I had a question for Ray. He'll be right back. Let's see. That's cool. Yeah, so John Kreideman, he actually put some money into his new love of shooting. So we ordered him a rifle. We ordered him a chassis. What else did we order you? Quite a few things. So he's ready to go. Hopefully he ordered some mags because he's only got one mag that comes with the Voodoo. If you guys are buying a new Voodoo, know that it only comes with one 10-round magazine. And you're going to want more than that, more than likely. At least have a backup mag in case something happens. I will say this. I don't know if I said it earlier. Did I say it earlier? No, I was telling Matt. So that the new chassis that I got, the Matrix by MPA, on the mag release, it's actually adjustable. Now, one of the things I was having issue with on the hybrid, the MPA hybrid BA chassis, was when I would go into a barricade with the bag, that bag would push up against the mag, and I would get I'd get malfunctions. They wouldn't pick up the bullet as the bolt's coming across. And one fix is I need to get an adjustable mag release for that so that I can actually do what this new one's doing. And because of that option, I brought it all the way to the top. The mags all fit well. It is a little bit tougher to release a mag, which is fine. I don't need it falling out anyways. But I was pushing this thing just as hard as I could up against the barricades. And as I was shooting some, makeup stages that I made today up, and I didn't have one issue, so I was super excited about that. So that is one bonus to the new Maverick chassis, and it's not because it's the chassis, but if you're having issues with that, you can go to their website and pick up an adjustable one. And I think I'm going to do that for the MPA because that solved all the problems. So super excited about that. Let's see. Just bought a one piece with an extension for my level and data card holder. Hope it works well, and I will let you know. Awesome. Look at Kreiderman's buying some stuff. Let's see here. Silver Sharpie for my witness marks. All right. I don't like... All right, let's see. Where are we at? What's up, Bald and Curious? Hopefully you're doing well. We got Silver Fox in the house. Rick, those are the best pork chops I've ever ate, and the biggest. They're good, Silver Fox. Hope you enjoyed them. Sound like you did. Sound like you did enjoy them. Couldn't let it stay at 69, could you? No. Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's awesome. You guys are doing well. We got 94 in here. 93, and Ray's actually on his way back down. See, I have to improve my shooting. I don't want to be that guy with shooting. I don't want to be. So if you guys don't know, so John Kreiderman, he's in here right now in the comment sections. We actually went out to the range at VOD and did some positional shooting. What's kind of cool, and maybe not, is I am nowhere near an expert at the long range game. I've been doing it for like 3 years now and hitting it really hard and doing and learning the most I can, hanging out with X-Ring and, being able to learn a lot of stuff a lot faster. But what's cool is watching Kreiderman shoot and just seeing how he's progressed and he's getting better. And it's just time behind the gun, time behind different obstacles. Obstacles meaning different types of barricades, different, tank traps at different heights, different walls that are like really shaky. So it's just a matter, why is everybody coming? Casey, knock it off. Jeez, my phone is going nuts. So for those of you guys that are just getting into it, just go out and practice. I shot 300 rounds today. And I had a great time. I shot a lot off of the tripod. I shot a lot of offhand shooting. I know there's a match coming up where we're going to have to shoot basically offhand in 4 different positions: standing, kneeling, sitting, and then also prone but unsupported. So you won't be able to use the bipod or bags or anything. So those things I really suck at. Probably like most people, we don't practice. I mean, why would you shoot unsupported prone when you got a perfectly good bipod, right? Well, there might be a stage where you're going to have to deal with that. I know a lot of PRS people don't like to shoot like that, and some NRL people actually enjoy that stuff. So it kind of just depends on who the match director is. And what you're going to deal with obstacle wise. There's people that have been doing hunting for years where, they're really good at that stuff because, everything is offhand, and all that kind of practice definitely helps out when it comes to coming to some of these matches, and you're like, you read the the stage description, and you're like, oh geez, this is going to suck. Kind of in the fire service, it's like, whatever you really suck at is going to be your next call. Like, the call that you wish, whatever you hope doesn't show up is probably going to show up. So try to practice what you think is going to hopefully never happen. And for me personally, offhand stuff, I don't know, maybe you guys are really good at it. But those are some of my weaknesses. So I try to do a little bit of practice in doing that, along with just trying to get used to that chassis. So I had a lot of things going on when I was practicing today, just getting used to the chassis, learning some positions, and trying to get better at, another weakness that I have is weak hand shooting. How many times do you guys go to the range, and out of 100 rounds, whether it's 100, 200, 310, million or whatever, what is your percentage of you shooting weak hand? When you go to the pistol range and you're shooting pistols, a lot of times people practice with the strong hand, but never with their support hand or their weak hand, so get used to that. You may see it at some match somewhere, and you're going to be like, man, I'm really glad I practiced that. I'm really glad I did that. So let me know. Get your pork chops. Silver Fox said those are the best pork chops I've ever had. That's funny. Let's see. Pretty good. Out of TP or the budget is acting up. The bidet. Oh, I don't got a bidet. Got a garden hose you can use. Let's see. My gun's too heavy to shoot unsupported. Yeah, that's the problem with putting a bunch of weight in those guns. So you got these 20-something pound guns. You got a little skinny guy like myself, and trying to hold that weight up. You're like, I don't really need those weights out front, especially if I'm going to be shooting unsupported. But then you have guys like this guy that kind of grew up, cut your teeth shooting unsupported. So I noticed that and talking with that other gentleman from Tennessee, John, yeah, the guys that can do that are way ahead of the game. I wouldn't say way ahead of the game, but they have. No,
I think it puts you ahead of the game.
It does,
because if you can do that unsupported positional shooting,
get your ass over here.
Then when you do have barricades and bags and things like that,
it's like that
extra. It's like, holy crap, when you're used to taking shots on a wobbling target because you're used to timing and everything else, I think it does help significantly. It does.
Someone had a question for you earlier, and they said, dang it, Bray's gone. I don't know who that was, but ask it again. He'll get to it. NRL 50-foot 22 LR prone match are unsupported. Using a sling, though.
Yep.
In the spirit of practicing for the unexpected.
Figure 8, yeah.
Needs practice, exactly. Yeah, we've done some practice with that and kind of go over it. Maybe somebody doesn't understand it.
Okay, well, the easiest way to say it is nobody can hold a rifle dead steady offhand, okay? You're like, the guy never misses. It's timing. And so, you'll have some people that are sitting there and they don't have their pulse right or whatever, and then, the rifle's just bobbling like this, up and down, up and down. Let me do it so you can see it, where they're just doing this. And a lot of times this will happen in the sitting position. If you're seeing a lot of this, then you need to loosen your belt. Because what you're doing is you're getting that pulse that runs through the center of your body. You have all that compression, and you're getting that. So loosen the belt. But what you want to do, especially if you're standing offhand, is figure out what your wobble is. And a lot of times you'll make what they call a figure 8, and that's what Bill Sweeney's referring to, where you're basically timing it where it's crossing on the 8s. It's however you want to do it, and just make sure that there's no unnecessary tension or muscle tension. You want to have a natural point of aim with fully relaxed muscles, so that when you close your eyes and you open it, you're like, oh, I got to be over here. You close your eyes, relax. All right, relax, take a breath, open your eyes. Oh, it's over here. Move your body to accommodate that. Sling shooting makes it that much easier,
And you can use a sling.
Yeah, well, if they allow you
at the
to,
match,
yeah, if they allow you to. All right.
I practice reloads watching girls with guns. You should all try this.
Yeah, exactly, Jackson. So almost, he says Tyler Rohr, that's what our local high school rifle team shoots. It's not that bad after you get used to it. I don't know if he's talking about a certain rifle or he's talking about offhand or basically unsupported shooting. Most of your high school teams, that's exactly what they do. And I think in some of these Appleseed shoots, I've never been to one.
Yeah,
but I think that's what they do is a lot of that. And it teaches you that foundation, that the fundamentals of getting good without support. So with support, you're only going to be that much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, and after you practice those weird contortionist, weird things where you basically turn into I won't even get into it, but basically your hip can be over here and your elbow can be on it.
So I'll just
like
demonstrate it real quickly. You don't want to stand like this, and this is good because you can actually see my lower body, but you don't want to have arms floating and everything else. What you want to do is get everything kind of tucked in where your triceps are on your body here, depending on where you place it. When you take a breath, that can affect a lot. But what you're doing is you're actually taking this side and making like a reverse C out of it. So you're doing this. So all of your weight is on this back spine, this back right leg. And that's how you do it. You're getting this hip out there. And it really depends on the platform you're shooting. You know, back when we were shooting M1A1s, you grip it, you roll it, and then you bring it in. And then this elbow is going to be really high. That was the old way they used to teach it. When you shoot an AR now almost everything's cradled right in here. And this hand's completely relaxed.
See, and in order for me to shoot like that, I noticed that I basically throw the rifle not on my shoulder.
Yeah, it's like the tip of it's
but
right
it's
here.
like way up here.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely closer to the glass, but it's a 22, so it ain't a big deal. No recoil, but it is tough, man. I tell you what. It's a good video for us. I suck shooting.
John Kreiderman wants to know when to get one of the new belts. So some exciting news on that. We actually did some testing today on some buckles that we're still not allowed to show. These are patented buckles. We actually had them tested today, and they achieved 3,600 pounds before failure on these buckles. Now, hopefully you're not going to be pulling that much with your belt. But the belt we have the final prototypes done. We're getting the costs on that. Still waiting on bags, guys. It's just been one thing after another. You know, you're aware of it. And so, yeah, it's good things coming.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, yeah. I suck shooting offhand with this 24-pound gun. Yeah. And see, I like the heavy guns. You know, there's a weight restriction on some of the stuff when you're shooting high power. You can't get up into that high, but even with my heavy guns, or like your gun's like 23, 24 pounds.
It's heavy. I don't
know.
know.
It's heavy, and it's going to get heavy, but offhand will be tough. You have to practice it. Do the buckles have bottle openers? No, sir. They do not. So the plan is to shift away from the Austria Alpin buckles. This will be a 100% made in the USA buckle.
It's going to be awesome.
It is an awesome buckle. I wish I could show you, but I can't.
If you showed them, dun, dun, dun.
Then you'd have to kill me.
Yeah. It is a cool buckle. You guys will get to see them shortly. Pretty soon. Do the buckles have No, I already read that. Will you come out with a plastic buckle version for those that have metal allergies?
Probably not.
Yeah. They're going to be nice when they're done.
Yeah.
The future
the few people that have had them say they're the most comfortable belt they've ever worn, but still being able to carry a appendix or 4 o'clock or just a good daily belt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. We may do a video on it.
I'm an American. I don't want to wait. You know what? That's so true. 45 auto, not just Americans, but just society in general. No one is patient any longer.
Man, when you got Amazon, they just bring it like ba-bam.
Yeah.
Well, like me, I'm kind of feeling like that right now. So I ordered those 2 bipods.
Yep.
Right. I spent an arm, a leg, and half a kidney, and no email, no nothing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, so Tyler, the dope cards the holders have been put on hold. Okay, so I told you guys that I might have mentioned, if you caught the chat the other night, that we did land a big contract order on those bad MFs. Well, that's now been doubled. Well, the problem is now we have to run the QDs. The QDs, I've got the same machine shop running those, so they had to pull the data card holder development off so that we could get thousands of these QDs made. So that's been put on the back burner because the other one's a sure thing. We don't know if the data card holder, I know it'll sell, but because it's a great design in my opinion, but we know that the other's sold. So
Yeah.
I have to provide those. So yeah, hurry up and wait. That's the thing.
News. Got some news for you guys on April 3rd. I believe that's Saturday, April 3rd or 4th. Clinton House down in South Carolina is doing a rimfire match. I know I'll be there. Pretty sure Ray might be there, and quite a few of these other guys.
You know what sucks about that match? It's a cash payout match. I hate cash payout.
I know. That'd be
because it's always just a little bit of money. I would rather have a trophy rather than just, you know,
yeah,
if I were
that would be the match I'd win because I'd have nothing.
Yeah, because then you'd have
nothing
nothing to show.
win.
You'll come in first and win $150. You'd be like, I'll trade you that $150 for a.
Can I get a match
for a trophy?
I just want a trophy. I just want a trophy.
Oh man.
But yeah, so if you guys are available to shoot, maybe it's your first match, maybe it's your millionth match, and you want to go out and shoot some 22 rimfire, April 3rd or 4th, whatever that Saturday is. You can get on Practice Score, and there's still tons of spots available. We'll be out there, and hope to see you guys out there.
Wingnut asks another question. He says, are you guys going to start on another platform? And I guess that means off of YouTube? Or does it mean another rifle platform?
I don't know.
It's funny because I talked to KB32 today, and guys, they are hitting us hard. I mean, every single thing's getting demonetized. KB32 said the same thing's happening to him. And yeah, it's crazy how hard they're hitting people, even people that aren't even gun channels, you know?
Yeah. No, you guys know they're killing me. And Ray, but you know when you show a piece of metal and all of a sudden my channel gets freaking turned off. I didn't get a strike, so I guess that'd be some good news for you guys. Or not good news, but news. They basically said, oh, obviously you messed up. Now I could have argued it, and I just said, okay, I didn't get a strike, so it's fine. I was a little bummed because I did a really cool sponsorship for the Yowtech stuff, and I was hoping maybe that owner Charlie would see it, so he felt, he could kind of see what he got. But I was a little bummed that it got turned off, but it is what it is.
This question is for you, Rick. What is the purpose of a Tonto blade shape on Microtech? They appear to not sell as well as a Microtech drop point because you can always find a Tonto in stock.
I'm a knife newbie. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Well, it says Rick, so it's your question.
You know what? I would like to phone a friend. I'm not a big knife fan when it comes to, not so much fan, but like a knowledgeable person on knives. So I don't know. I know that the Tonto blade, I always thought of it was more of a defensively weapony kind of style, be able to poke it into thicker stuff. I don't know if this stuff's. And then the drop blade's more of a normal, like American style kind of shape.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people argue the fact that, a Tonto actually has more piercing power because of the way that you have the double grind on there. Basically, you have a grind this way and then a grind this way. The problem with the Tonto is it's very, very difficult to sharpen
that I did
properly. Because you can screw one up in a second, and all of a sudden your Tonto angle becomes a clip point, with a line in it. I do know that they do make a lot of Tontos because they are requested, so maybe that's why you do see them. Like I said, I had completely gotten away from the knives. It's not until here recently in the last couple of weeks, and that our division is in charge of making some of these higher end. Oh, bro, I think you have a fake scarab.
Oh, I was gonna bring it up. Yeah,
bro, I think you have a fake scarab.
So
mine looks nothing like that.
I got a comment on that video I did on the Scarab 2. He's like, bro, I think you have a fake, because mine doesn't look anything like it.
And your response was, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's real because I built it at Microtech.
Yeah, that's as real as it gets.
It's as real as it gets. So the yeah, it's funny. It was quite a good comment, actually. Made me laugh. Let's see here. Rick, good thing you don't work for a knife company. Yeah. Let's see. I was talking to a
He
guy.
does.
Got
45 auto. He does now, but how is
he
the
knows
knife?
that.
How's
He
the
knows
knife
that.
building going? How are the thumbs hanging out?
Oh man. Scarabs compared to Ultratechs.
And Ultratech's like a little toy now. It's like
yeah, you guys got to realize when we build these things, you have to test them like a bunch. So you're like, you'll put one screw in it, and then you put all the screws in it, and then you got to do that again a bunch of times up and down because some will fire.
Oh, wait. Here you go. I have a scarab just for you to try.
I don't want to try. My thumbs smoke from the other end. So you got the fire going up, right? And then you got one. I got to do it this way for you.
Okay, but that's not what it's like, guys. So the assembler, whoever assembles these, and our QC is a little different. Basically, this will be the first time because we assemble it from start to finish. So as soon as you get done, you haven't put any of the screws in it yet. So you want to make sure that there's no excess drag or anything else. And so what we'll do is we're holding it together because there's no screws. All the internals are in there and everything else. And typically it's going to be 10 times up. And then we go between our legs because you're trying to hold this vertically, because the hardest thing for an OTF is to be able to draw up vertically.
Yeah.
And so we have to do that 10 times up and down, just like this. Now that's for every single one you build.
Then you put the damn screws in it, and then you do that again.
Yes, because you want to now make sure that nothing is causing tension in there.
Yeah.
And so that would be the first QC. That was from the builder. But then this still has to go through sharpening, which is going to get fired. Once it comes from sharpening, then it's going to go into actual QC. And those guys, I mean, they got thumbs that look like my arms.
Oh, God.
So
there's no way I can do that.
So they have these things that you build basically using.
Yeah,
like
you build a mini
tape.
thumb cast. Basically.
It's huge. It's like this big thumb cast. Because
I got one. Trust me, it sucks.
These things will rip your thumb apart.
So Bald and Curious has a comment there. Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been enjoyable learning. I never would have took one of these knives apart. Now I'm building these things, and it's pretty cool to figure out all the intricate stuff and the little freaking tiny springs. If you do not know what you're doing, don't open the damn thing up. Just send it to Microtech if you have one and let them fix it.
And guys, that's the whole reason why it says Microtech will void the warranty. They won't void the warranty, but if you're that guy that has ever lost a detent assembling an AR, don't take apart one of these because
the springs are tiny.
Springs are smaller than any spring you've probably ever seen.
They're tiny. Some are shaped like this.
They're conically shaped.
Yeah, don't.
And it makes the hair look like wire because these things, I mean, you can barely see them on some of them. And they have pockets that they go in. So if you take it apart and you don't know what you're doing, one of those flies across the room,
you are done.
Now you have missing parts.
You're done.
So I'm going to go ahead and address this since he's calling me out on it. I'm still waiting for my OTF knife I was promised. Got money ready. Okay, I promised I'd try to help get you one. You're in New York. I don't know what the laws are in New York. Make sure everything's good on that because I think OTFs are strictly prohibited in New York.
Everything's
We'll get you squared away on trying to get you one. I just need to know exactly what type and everything else. And I do remember, I did tell you I would try to help you out on that, and we'll go from there. Val,
always being a hashtag. Let's see. X-ray, if you're swapping barrels in a 1911, can you measure the link on the original barrel to determine the length barrel link to use on the new one? Glad he asked you because I don't have a darn clue.
I've done a couple on 1911s, but I'm sure there's some guys on here that can answer that question better. Because, most of those 1911s, especially when you get into match barrels, a lot of those have to be hand fitted. I don't know if you can just go straight off of the link. I think pin location is going to change that as well. It's a lot of fitting. How much do you know about Italian cooking ranges? I know absolutely nothing about cooking. Okay, so
you ain't lying.
So what I know here, I know nothing about cooking. I know how to boil eggs. and I know how to cook a steak, and that's the extent of my cooking.
And he's not lying.
That is my kryptonite. I've never had a desire to learn how to cook.
See, you would have never made it in the fire service.
That's why I wasn't a fireman.
I know.
Everybody would have been eating ramen all night long.
That would have been.
What you cooking tonight, Ray? Ramen noodles
from a packet. Well, dang, it's pretty good, but we can't eat this every day. Let's see.
Oh man, it's the truth.
It is. It is funny. It is definitely cheap. What's up, Thomas Rowland? Welcome to the show.
You know, I've never cooked a hamburger in my life.
What?
Nope, never have.
Man,
I've cooked steak, ramen, and breakfast. That's pretty much it. That's the.
Can you make breakfast?
Yes, I can. You know why? Because my wife taught me something. She said, if you really want bacon, just take it, wrap it in napkins, and put it in the microwave. Because I like it extra crispy anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and you know, I'm one of those. I don't like bacon grease getting all over me and all this other stuff. That's probably why I don't like cooking. I don't like oils and all that all over me. It's like when I come back from, you know, if we're at the machine shop or something, you've got the coolant on the air, and it's everywhere.
It is.
And even though the air is scrubbed, that's just a huge thing of mine. That's why I hate the beach. I don't like salt spray or any of that. I like everything clean.
Yeah. Well, Bald Curious is kind of right. He says you don't cook hamburger, you grill it. Have you grilled a hamburger?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Dang.
Well, thanks, John. Yes, I do have a great wife.
Yeah, you do have a great wife.
I don't. Well, either that or I'm going to go out to eat. One of the two.
Yeah, thank God.
If I had to cook myself. So
what if you're in the
my
middle
idea of prepping is I've got bags of rice. That's it, because I can always have rice and, like, you know, hot dogs or Vienna sausages or Spam. We talked about this before. That's my survival food.
See, Lynn Holt, he bakes it in the oven, bacon in the oven, which works well. You lay it all out on a pan, like put tinfoil on it kind of deal, and then let it rip.
Hey, that's what fast food is for, 45 Auto.
Yeah.
Aero Precision is coming out with a 9mm AR pistol March the 3rd.
9mm AR pistol. That's cool.
Nice.
Same boat.
She says, I just buy pre-cooked bacon, no grease. It's an Asian thing.
That shit's supposed to be really bad for you. I don't know if it is or not, but man.
Being Microtech guys, hence knowing all about suppressors. I don't know about that. Your thoughts about the Area 419 Maverick system, especially the 6.5-inch brake configuration, which in my mind could be perfect for PRS.
He's got a great video.
Otter, I have that, and I did review that.
That's good.
It is a great compromise between getting some sound suppression so you don't get that horrible headache and getting the effectiveness of having something short enough to put enough volume out to get you recoil reduction. So
there's a problem with that.
The 6.5 I like. The 5.5 is actually a little loud. So I've been running it in that 6.5 configuration. I really like it. What were you saying?
The best way to do that is to bring 9 more of those and convince all the shooters on your squad to use them.
Correct. I hate, it's like, man, when you get used to shooting suppressed, you got to have everybody shooting suppressed. Otherwise someone's loud. In other news, if you guys have heard of the Thunder Beast Dominus SR, I have one coming on Monday. So I'll get you a review of that. It'll probably be demonetized. I don't care. It's a pretty cool can. Went through the SOCOM testing and all that. It's a full titanium can, full auto rated. And it's a 30 cal can, but dedicated, and it's designed to be able to use it seamlessly with 5.56.
Yeah, we had a chance to. We didn't shoot it. We seen it when we were out in New Mexico. Yeah, New Mexico.
Bacon in the microwave is the easiest way to cook it. That's right. Easiest.
They even make like bacon holder things where you drape all the things over so you can just zap.
Bravado Racing, yes. Any info on the Bergara B14R? So yes, got to talk to the guys over at Bergara, and I do have a B14R that will be on the way to me. We don't have a timeline yet, but it has been promised to me that I will definitely get it. So I do want to do some reviews on that. I even told Rick I might even go so far as to maybe even attempt to shoot a match with it. And he's like, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't dare. I was like, if it shoots well, watch me.
I said, no, I said, you said you would. You said
I
you
would.
would.
Okay, I would. I'll shoot one.
That's what I said. Do I miss Firehouse subs? Actually, I never used to eat Firehouse subs.
But I changed that.
But
Let's go to Firehouse.
there's one right down the street,
Yeah.
and actually the meatball's pretty good. And that I don't know what the hell it's called, ladder truck or something. I don't know. Using Hellfire or Sidewinder, or just some other brand. Let's see, type one. Yeah, it's been a good time working there. I learned a lot of fun.
It says Otter says, and Otter is asking some good questions tonight about it. He's done his research using the Hellfire, the Sidewinder, or just some other brand. I've been using the Hellfire. I know Matt actually uses the Hellfire as well. That's kind of what put those guys on the map, was the Hellfire. That's how Area 419 really started, was with the Hellfire brake. It's a very, very effective brake. It's very loud.
A lot of PRS guys like that.
I think it's one of the number one brakes in PRS, but yeah, you can get the adapter for that. But I do like the Area 419, the Maverick.
Yeah, those guys got some great stuff over there.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Craig is actually a super, super good guy. That's who I actually got my first Voodoo from, was from those guys.
Yeah. And your second one.
And then also, that's who I got the Bartland barrel from for the CZ457, which I meant to do a review on the other day, but we got busy with the Arkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fluted barrel, and it's, what do you call it? The French tickler? Or is that Matt what he calls it?
No, I call it that.
It's got some deep flutes on it, but it's a snazzy looking barrel. Is that a word? Snazzy?
It is.
Snazzy.
Snazzy. I use snazzy quite a bit.
Jersey Mike's the bomb. I do agree. I like Jersey Mike's.
Joaquin, he hasn't touched the press since the 22s came
When
out.
have you touched the press?
I touched it today.
To clean it.
No, I didn't even clean it. I bumped it.
Oh, you bumped it? Yeah, so I did, the last time I used the Area 419 press, Joaquin, was the video that I put out for the 6-dasher. I am finally getting my magazine fit kits. Those, I got a shipping confirmation on those. So as soon as I get those in for the AW mags, I do want to load up some dasher and take the AI back out there with that proof barrel. So I'm happy with it. It works well. If I didn't mention it to you guys before, there is a feature on the back of that.
What are you looking for, XLR?
No, I'm looking for a freaking whiteboard of knowledge.
Oh, it's right here. I might even have the pin right there.
Man, I'm not.
All right, let me answer this question real
What the
quick.
heck
Spy Sweeper, the answer, that can with the brake on it, is called the Maverick by Area 419.
Correct. It is configurable to 5 different lengths and things. Okay, so if we're looking at a side profile of the area of the press, the zero press, it has a feature that comes down like this, I believe it is.
Yeah, you got a new name for that piece.
Yeah, it's called a finger smasher, okay? We're going to say this right here is your plunger. When you pop the primer, it actually falls in a hole, and I might have this backwards, I'm not sure. But you have to clear it, because a lot of times you'll have your hand up there when you're putting the cartridge in there, or if you're seating a bullet. You have to clear it faster than you do with an RCBS or any other thing, because if not, there's a pinch point right here. And it's gotten me twice. That's my only complaint, is that one little shelf area, and I don't know how you would alleviate that, because it does catch all the primers and
belt grinder
going all over the floor.
Belt grinder.
That's my only thing. Yeah, Otter.
What's up,
It's
Andy?
definitely on the channel. It was just look up Area 419 Maverick.
Yeah, just type that in. It's probably at the top somewhere. It was what was really cool is we did on that video. We did basically had a ruler. And we did recoil, and we just basically let it be free, and it would slide back and with and without it, and in different configurations. And there's not just only that, but actually shooting it, there was a complete difference.
Yeah, Greg Turner says if you've got pull at Area 419, I don't have any pull with those guys. I just know the guys, and I know everything's back ordered right now, no matter who you are.
Yeah, that's for sure. Big Valley Precision, what's going on? Glad to see you back. What is the best way to give constructive criticism to grandson without making him self-conscious about it?
Oof. Tell somebody else and let them tell them.
This could apply to anyone. Is it about shooting?
It's just like these people that say they try to teach their wife to shoot.
That's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
You have your buddy or anybody else but you do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're a professional teacher of firearms, have them go somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you guys to argue. And they're not going to listen to you anyways. They're just not going to listen to you. Just like we're not going to listen to them when they say, yeah, sure, it's okay to go to the range. Like, that's not right. But you're like, I heard you said it was okay to go to the range. +5, what is going on? I think constructive criticism. That's a great question, Big Valley.
I mentioned it in that video, which it's down right now, but it'll come back up on the Arkin. You just have to think about it, guys. If you're into long range shooting and right now you don't have any components, why wouldn't you get a 22 long rifle and practice precision 22? The reason I use the 22 as the platform for the Arkin is, remember, at 372 yards, it was 18 mils. When's the last time you dialed 18 mils on any scope unless you were shooting well beyond 1,300 yards? You're not, because at a mile with like a 6.5, you're going to be at 23 mils. And at 1,000, you're going to be at about 8 mils or 7.5 mils, somewhere in there. So if you're dialing 18, that's really using that full limit, that full travel of that scope.
Yeah.
It is every bit as hard. It's harder. It is harder.
I think it's way harder
to shoot a 22. Oh, ask Matt. I know he's watching tonight. So guys, get this. So,
this is bad.
When you have a 5-mile-an-hour wind and it's switching up on you, and you're at 300 plus yards with a 22, you can go from 2 mils, let's say left, all the way to a 1.2 mils right. Okay, so now you're talking about 3.2 mils just in wind, just from just a couple second delay, just with it swirling or shifting. It is very, very difficult. It's a lot harder, in my opinion, than centerfire rifle at 1,000 in it.
Yeah, because you got all that velocity fighting through that, where the 22 is just kind of.
Yeah, it's just hanging out. It's floating along.
Let's see. I tell her all the new guns are here. Hers. There you go. I always start by saying the best way I have found to do this is.
The best way I've found to do this.
That's great. Or maybe show like what you're trying to teach them, maybe on a YouTube video or something. Like, hey, let's watch this one video real quick before we go out and do whatever.
Yeah, or say things like, you might want to try.
Yeah.
There's some guys that say that this might be a little easier.
I did hear one time that this is possible.
Andrew Lowe says definitely harder. Oh, and good news, I should be having some LUDTs available here soon. The X-Ring models, so I'm going to keep trying to do that. We're having to change merchant services so that I can actually put pictures up. So that's going to take a little while, but SOCOM's no idea, probably never. But I do have some LUDTs coming, and I'm thinking about some other things as well. I wonder if I ought to do a higher end, like a DLC Scarab 2 with like X-Ring on them.
That's fake. It's probably fake. Bro, it's probably a fake. All right. I got some hats coming, so that's good.
I'm so out of hats.
Long range precision social distancing hats will be back in stock pretty soon. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel's wife's got all sorts of fun guns. Yeah, that's a tough one. I would not want to. I don't know. Did somebody ask about teaching the wife, or we just brought that up?
No, they're still talking about.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Spy Sweeper says 22 just floating along its merry way to the bullseye whistling a tune. Could be a good cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fun. When we're shooting, even at 200 yards, there's enough time to shoot, and then look at the camera and ding. Like,
oh yeah, it's forever.
Yeah.
And when
that's only 200
you guys
yards.
did get to watch the video, I had the magneto speed flashers on the targets. It's like ting. Yeah, it takes forever.
Yeah.
It takes forever. And the Evo 3 the week before that. I guess he's talking about guns. Scorpion Evo 3. Either that or he got a Mitsubishi.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Mitsubishi Evo 3.
My favorite.
He asked me today what my favorite car was.
Oh, yeah.
Fastest car on the track. And I had to tell him about the GTR. He didn't know anything about his Nissan. I was like, dude, yeah, that's.
I'm not a car guy at all.
For handling.
And he said, I
the
go,
GTR
what's the
is
best handling car you've ever had? And Ray's driven like bazillions. And he said a Nissan. I was like, what the heck?
I was like, what you smoking?
What the heck?
But then I checked the prices of them now. Nismo GTR starts at $215,000. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. You know,
All right,
hat,
nice.
the one I got, used almost every day. Nice, Otter.
Nice.
Daniel that means we got to send it all the way to frickin', what do you call it? When they come in, I'll let you know. Yeah, Iceland. It's got to go by camel.
Dang, 100 people in here.
It's got to go by horse. Then it's got to go by billy goat, and then it finally makes it to the boat, and then it gets shipped across. Yeah.
I know we have some lurkers in here. We got 97 people.
I know.
Ask some questions.
I know you guys there's people that have never been out there. Type something in the comment section. Say hi. There's probably a couple fire station guys out there. Say hi.
No, Davey J, that's what I was talking about. The GTR Nismo with all the carbon fiber and the carbon fiber rotors and all that. Yeah, that's like 215 or so. The 22 long rifle is probably faster than my 4440 with black powder. Yeah, probably so.
Let's see. Where's that?
Getting some good questions.
Nancy Mink asked, "What's the difference between the MPA hybrid and the MPA BA comp?" It's a hair smaller and built around kind of like a smaller, like for more of a rimfire compared to a center fire.
No six rudders. I've never done the cannonball.
As far as I know.
We did have
the
lap across America, and yeah, that was actually pretty cool. But no, not the cannonball. Love the GTR. My cousin lives in Japan, has the GTR V-Spec V, kills the Nismo. The V-Spec. Now, would that be like one of the older, like the Skyline GTRs, or are you talking about? Because I know those were a lot lighter and smaller. GTR V-Spec kills the Nismo.
Yeah, I guess this thing basically rides on rails. I mean, it's like magnetic. It's like
pretty incredible. Difficulty level to install new trigger in my Bergara.
Out of 5.
5 being the most difficult.
It being the most difficult.
A 2.
There you go, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, if the Bergara that you're talking about, I assume, because I think he has a B14, not a BXR or anything like that, then the most difficult thing is probably going to be having the right size punch to get your pins out for your trigger group. But other than that, that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple, and it's not hard to do that. Just make sure you have everything good.
We got Hunt's BD out there.
That's a good question. Bergara carbon or steel barrel, and why?
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to use it as a hunting rifle, or you're carrying it all up down the hills, or are you going to? Wouldn't that be a good question to ask back, though?
Yeah, I think it would be. That's probably going to be the best question to ask.
So you're gonna, let's say he's going to shoot PRS with it. I would say steel.
I'm going to go steel on that. If you're going to do PRS center fire, I would stay steel. Now, my experience is mostly with proof. I have a lot of proof barrels. I have carbon and I have the steel. The carbon has its place for sure if you're trying to save the weight. I don't think it makes it any more accurate. I think it actually might be detrimental to accuracy. The proof steel barrels work great. I mean, I think even the PRS shooters that shoot proof shoot steel over the carbon. Really more of a weight savings thing. Not really recommended for high rate of fire rifles. So now if we relate that to the Bergara, which I do have the BXR with the carbon, that's great because that's a lightweight little package. That's why that one was bought. But I would prefer the steel barrel for the weight because I want the weight. That's what we're trying to do, is add this weight to balance everything out.
Oh, he's asking yours, so that it's going to be steel then. Well, the one you have.
Oh, the one that's coming to me. Honestly, I don't know, because when he asked me, I said I don't have a preference either way. As long as you guys can do that for me. So, big shout out to those guys for getting one. I'm not going to. You don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. So
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Lucas says, is most of the Ely ammo only for close range? I think it's backwards, but 50 to 100 yards, or is it good to go out further?
No, Luca, you'll be fine at distance or shooting Ely. Remember, we started off with Ely 10X, which is
first
stupid
we started off
expensive.
with CCI standard velocity.
Yeah, because we were just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
No, because before then, I
we
was
were
shooting
testing.
and shoots,
Yeah.
and I was already shooting the
That's
10X.
right.
The 10X does well. As a matter of fact, Matt shot his first match with the CZ and Ely 10X.
Yep.
And he did really, really well with it. Now, I don't know when you get into club and standard and all of that, but you should be fine with it. You just want to remember to keep it subsonic. Don't start off with supersonic ammunition. Hold on. Can you scroll that back
Difficulty
up?
level as explained by R². Impossible if you're right. Easy peasy if you're an Asian working.
That's funny. So you've got a Bixen Andy trigger. You're going to be really satisfied with that trigger. I mean, you did a great job choosing that one. I've never really heard anything about the Bixen Andys or anything bad at all.
If centerfire ammo came back tomorrow, no more shortage, would you keep shooting 22 long rifle like you are now? My answer is definitely yes.
Yes, because it's easy.
You don't have to reload.
There's no reloading.
It's so nice.
There's no picking up your brass.
It's quiet. Well, we pick up our brass.
I would definitely do more centerfire shooting, but the information I'm getting is that there is no end in sight at the moment, especially for this year being 2021. So guys, don't magically think, because I'm hearing this from very good sources, is powder, especially like H4350 and all of those, that's not coming around anytime soon. You'll see it and it'll get scarfed up, but there's not going to be some big container truck or big shipping boat of powder coming in.
I got a huge want to shout out Rusty East. So he took his 2 grandsons to shoot their 22s for the first time yesterday. Guys, awesome. That is awesome. If you're an uncle, a dad, a grandfather, grandmother, all the women ones too, and you have the ability to take whatever, your nephews, your grandkids, go take them to the range, especially if they've never been. Go enjoy it, have fun. Let them be our next 2A supporters, our next people that want to go out and compete and have fun with the love of shooting.
Lead Mining 44 has a great comment here. He says, do you think you should run 500 to 1,000 rounds through a new Voodoo before you send it to Lapua? Okay, so I actually read that earlier, and it used to be 200 rounds. Where is somebody going to get 500 to 1,000 rounds if they don't have it to break it in? I've never heard of taking 500 to 1,000 rounds to break in anything, much less a centerfire rifle or a rimfire. I can understand maybe they had some issues with the FFLs and all this other stuff. There's a backstory to this, guys. But basically, Voodoo sending their rifles directly to Lapua upon purchase rather than you taking delivery and sending it back to them. Lapua had directly told me 200 rounds. And then now my understanding is that Voodoo no longer does that, and they're wanting 500 to 1,000 rounds. That's insane. You don't do that out of a centerfire rifle. If your rifle hasn't settled in, if your rifle hasn't settled in at 500 rounds, there's something else going on. I don't know. So,
shot the Bergara today.
No, I don't think so.
Steel barrel for me as well. Balanced, shoots great. Shot some federal today. Kept thinking I was missing the target after the first shot.
Nice. So Lucas, he's got some buddies. They're going to shoot the March COF next week's.
Oh, Course of Fire.
Course of Fire.
Which one's that?
I don't know if he meant VOD or March.
No,
the DRC.
Give us more info on that one, because I think
it's next weekend.
Oh, it's next weekend?
That's what he's saying. Also got to shoot the SK rifle match. The CZ loves it. Yeah, I've got a bunch of that coming if it ever gets here.
What?
I got a bunch of SK.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I know. Josh Thomas. He has good luck with SK.
Just the NRL.
Next weekend, sorry, I also got to shoot the SK.
Oh, so I did have some questions about that funky build that I assisted with, and the reason it got demonetized because it said build on there. So that's just it. But Orson did a lot of homework on that. And yes, there were feed issues, but he did solve it. I think he's got it almost 100% solved now. If you guys didn't catch it, basically, if you put a little bit of pressure on the magazine, just upward pressure, it would feed like butter. So he's been updating me on it. He's happy with it. That's what he's going to shoot.
He just had to buy the new spring kit, right?
Yeah, he had to buy the spring kit.
Which match is he shooting with us? The next one?
The
VOD
VOD match, yeah. Not the Kentucky match.
Gotcha. There's Josh.
I think you need to go towards Vitavori. I've always liked Vitavori powder.
I don't have it, Josh. It ain't mine.
You're saying a loaded 20-round mag won't lock into the mag well with bolt forward. Huh? What's this? I missed this. DW must have said something.
If so, this is fairly normal. Most people will load one round less. I think they're talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, most mags, like AR style stuff, if you're running P mags and it says it's a 30-round mag and you put 30 in it, sometimes you can put 31 in it, thinking it's 30, and then you go to seat the mag. It doesn't seat and it falls off the porch.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. Twice. Shibal says, do you think a high-quality manufacturer like Proof, something that's been lapped, I guess, needs a break-in? They recommend it. I didn't do the 6-dasher, that one-off one. I just went ahead and just shot it. So I try to break all my barrels in. That one I didn't. But I think if it's a higher-end barrel, I think you'll be okay with it, but don't let it go too long. You don't want to build up a lot of unnecessary copper. Orson, hey, so Orson's in here. He says, messing with the torque settings. Still not happy with the accuracy yet. Getting closer. Yeah, Orson.
For the chassis?
Yeah, so the few times that I shot it, I mean, like I said, it printed a pretty decent group, and then boom, there's that flyer. Are you still getting that flyer like that? We'll see you, Crider. You take care.
Night, John.
All right. I've never downloaded mags, never had issues loading maxed out mags on closed bolts. The problem people have with it is they are weak handling it. Changed my mind. Okay, Shaggy Rifleman, I'm not going to change your mind, but I'm going to say that there are magazines that are designed to have space, and if you're throwing an extra one in there, so let's say, like in Rick's case, let's say it's a 30-round mag, or the HK, the Maritime mags are the same way. If it's a 30-round mag and you're force feeding 32 rounds in there, that's bad. You'll have a hard time not only closing or inserting the magazine and getting it to seat on a closed bolt, but here's your challenge. Get you a Lancer magazine, a 20-rounder, load it with 20, and seat it on a closed bolt. Unless you slap the absolute living crap out of it to where you're going to get a, like what we call in the South, a stone bruise or palm bruise. It's very difficult to seat, especially on some of these match rifles. 19 helps a little bit. But yeah, I actually do that in some of the matches. If it's a short one where I only need like 12 or 13 rounds,
yeah,
I'll throw a 20
it
round
just goes in nice.
To 19.
Just nice. Have you guys experienced barrel mirage during rimfire shoot, or is still an issue limited to centerfire?
Man, great question. I've never experienced that with rimfire.
No, usually at rimfire matches, it's just mirage from the ground.
Correct.
Now, centerfire, yeah. Got my Arca rail, put it on today as well as my plate and bags came too. This sport.
I wish I could highlight his
Lucas.
comment.
Who, Lucas?
Yeah, he says this sport is a money pit.
Oh, you ain't.
Yeah, be careful going too far down that rabbit hole. That's why I was cautioning, keep it simple. You don't have to have the plate. Just do one bag, good optic, good rifle, and go and have fun.
Go have fun.
Orson, yep.
Spend the money on practice.
He says 0.4s to 1.5 inch groups. I think it's torque. I added the last shim that helped a little with accuracy and feeding, but it barely holds closed with that much headspace. Yeah, because I don't know if you noticed, Orson, in the video when I did that review, when you fire it, you actually see it was already on the border, but when you fire it, you could actually see it toggle back just a little bit. So I was like, man, we're already there. And then if you're saying you did one more, that's loose.
Are you talking about the barrel to the?
Yeah, because you have to torque the headspace, or you have to shim the headspace. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ramsey Country says he has 4 Criterion barrels and he's never broken any. They all shoot under 1 MOA. They will speed up between 100 and 300 rounds. There you go.
Lucas says level in the playing field, boys. You come back to Tennessee.
That's it. Well, Lucas, I'm glad you've embraced it.
Hey, we're going to
Kentucky.
Yeah, well, give me this.
The 7th. And I don't think it's going to be too far from you.
Let's see here. Where the hell's it at? DRC Rimfire match.
It's a PRS Precision Rifle Series. Is that one PRS or NRL? That's PRS.
I don't know. Just show up.
Neither. That's a PRS match.
Okay.
PRS. Yeah.
Oh boy, he said. Might print a mag tomorrow. There you go, Abigail. What's up, Abigail? Finally see you in here. Red Dawn, AK-74. What's going on? I'm the only one who cut a small tree down with a 22 when I was younger. Very nice.
No, you're not the only one. That's what he's saying. I think everyone has done that.
Oh, am I the only one?
Yeah, you took your little tubular fed 22. You put as many in there as you could. You just go. You'd reload.
Well, I remember having to rescue a saw one day on a tree, and I'd used about 25 shotguns.
Your shotgun?
Yeah.
Speaking of cutting down trees, so there is somebody on here that is an arborist. So I was cutting some trees down the other day for a job, and I always take 2 chainsaws with me. This was supposed to be a real quick, boom, once and done, out of there, load the dump trailer, get out. And I'm like, oh, that didn't feel good. There was a piece of rebar in the tree. So I'm like, no problem. That's why I carry 2 saws. Grab the other one, cut it from the other side to about where the rebar I thought would, the tree fell, no problem. So I go to the other tree. Well, you don't know if it's in there. You know, at least it wasn't a railroad spot.
You even looked.
I'm like, I looked all around. I'm like, hit another thing. So here's the point of all this. Rick went with me to the chainsaw place today because I had to go get some new chains, blades. And I use carbide chains, which are expensive, but in my opinion, they're well worth it, especially as much cutting as I do.
Thanks, Orson.
And the guy looks at it and he's like, yeah, this was pretty bad. I was like, no, it's bad. I need new ones. And he's like, oh, you're missing a tooth here and a tooth here and a tooth here. And anyway, point of the story was, he said, you're missing 5 teeth on this. You want me to sharpen it up for you? I said, no, throw it in the garbage. That's a carbide chain. I was like, I don't care. It's missing 5 teeth. Throw it away. He wouldn't throw it away. It's like, I am not going to use a chain missing 5 teeth. Who's got time for that?
5 teeth ain't that many. They actually make ones with skip tooths.
Yeah.
So 5 ain't nothing.
Yeah, but I'm trying to cut through rebar with this thing, right?
No.
Unknowingly.
Yeah, unknowingly.
And it's missing. I don't need it. Just give me another chain. Give me a good chain. That's it.
One that works.
Anyway.
Orson says he loves my calendar. I love my calendar too. And I get to add one more.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Your banners.
Yeah, those are my the plan is, if you guys are new to this,
5 teeth is a full set in Middleburg.
That's
why they call it a toothbrush.
I'm doing this for every match. So every match that I shot in, I'm putting what I placed, how many people were there, what state it was in. And I got one more to add now, but this keeps me up to date. So I got 3 matches. I still got to put this one on here, but I'm going to see how many matches I go to this year and see how well I do. And maybe I'll see myself starting to creep up, from like 15th out of 30 to, start getting there 10 out of 30 and so on and so forth.
DW, every rifle is a little different. If you have one where your PMags and your steel mags, if you take out 2 rounds and it still doesn't seat, with a closed bolt, you are just going to have to slap it harder. It's just the way that it is. Every AR is a little bit different on that. Some of them seat a little easier than others. I actually prefer the ones that are harder to seat because that typically means you've got really, really tight clearances in there, and I typically don't have issues with those rifles.
Nice, powerful springs.
Yeah. Was the tree a property corner? No, it was not. It was in the middle of an island on a commercial piece of a commercial property. And they were installing some security cameras, and they couldn't see the front drive gate. They wanted these 2 beautiful trees taken down. I was like, all right. And I guess it was when the property was built, and these trees just grew around the rebar. I don't know, but yeah,
Should have just added,
got them both.
Should have just added cameras.
You needed a Husqvarna XP chain.
Rick Bunyan.
I don't know, man. Those carbide chains are about the toughest I know. But man, that's I've never used a Husqvarna XP chain, but yeah, it killed it.
I think that there's a new like rescue one that the fire guys use.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it's
might
called,
be that one,
but it could be that one.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. You can go through just about damn near anything. Cut a car in half with it if you wanted to. My thoughts. Exactly.
Orson Humphrey. I don't run. See, he's got a lot of experience as well. I mean, a whole lot. He doesn't run saws missing teeth. I'm just, my stuff's right. If it's not right, I'll get the other one. 2 is 1, 1 is none.
I'm just saying they do make saws or chains.
I've seen them.
Yeah, the skip tooths.
Yeah.
Yeah. What up, LZ USA?
Sigurd, what's really funny is the people that waste that time on their budget build PSA. I don't know, waste that time. I'm trying to understand that.
I had a question for you guys. Anybody out there that's old as us or older and has arthritis, you got any like snake oil?
Yeah, it's called Aleve. Twice a day.
I don't want to take medicine twice a day.
Yeah, it ain't no homeopathic.
Fire departments use a carbide. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, that's normal, Robert.
Joe Moore. Anyways, if you got a magic trick for arthritis in your hands, let us know. I can't even hold a gun anymore. It's getting ridiculous. A skip tooth is okay. The problem is when there are 5 missing teeth in a row. Yeah, I don't know if there was or not. But yeah, great. That does make it insane. Hitting the hay, fellas.
So I switched over to carbide chains when I was building ranges, and we were using cutting through railroad timbers.
Thanks, Red Dog.
And we had 200 railroad timbers that we had to cut, hack, split. You've seen the work out there, and that job. I mean, a regular chain, it would eat through a chain in like 2 cuts, whereas the carbide you could go, half the day without having the saw to sharpen it. But they cost about 3 times the cost.
ADW90, of course. I'm going to hear that.
Drink more water.
Drink more water. I've been doing pretty good at that. I've never heard of argon cream.
So Robert Warren says tart cherry extract. Turmeric is supposed to help, and pineapple natural anti-inflammatory enzymes in it.
Huh. It's worth a shot.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, turmeric. Turmeric.
Otter says older, LOL.
Yeah, I know there's a few out there. I'm being nice. Not old yet, but my father has had steroid injections in his hands. Huh.
Moved to Arizona where it's warmer.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with it. Even when I was in California, it was jacked up. My godmother used some stuff from the beauty departments for arthritis. Can't remember.
Daniel says, what can I take for memory loss?
As far as PSA comment, that was referenced people breaking in barrels, and more specifically when it is that isn't needed or appropriate. Got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Shaggy Rifleman, thanks for clarifying that. If you're just getting a rack grade AR or something that's just get it done, not a match or anything, you don't need to go through the whole break-in procedure or any of that.
Oh, Rusty, yeah, the copper bracelets. I remember seeing those. I've seen them.
I have some of those because when I was big into golf, everybody wore copper bracelets. And the only thing it does is turns your arm green. That's all it does. And they got the whole back things that have, copper
magnetic-
magnets in
oh,
them.
yeah.
None of that snake oil crap's working for me ever.
Send you some Tiger
See,
Balm.
Rusty East says he uses copper bracelet and it helps him with
Smell
arthritis.
like shit, but works great. Oh, Tiger Balm.
I'll send you some Tiger Balm.
Tiger Balm. How come everything that Shibal Seki has, it sounds like some Asian
It's an
stuff?
Asian thing.
Is it Tiger
I'm
Balm
telling
really
you.
Asian?
Yeah.
Tiger Balm?
What do you think it is?
I don't know. It just sounded cool.
It's like
I don't
ramen
know.
noodles.
Is it ramen or ramen?
Ramen.
Microbius something.
Microbes
Microbes.
are repelled by copper.
Uh-huh. Repelled. Gotcha. Spanish fly.
Yep, turmeric,
GNC.
get some of them. I don't know. It's like all these older. Where
Hey,
are these older guys?
That would be a chance to put it on and know if it really works.
Yeah, because everybody's like, you know what? For your joints, you want to take these fish oil supplements.
Oh, that one used to be a big
That
thing.
was big. It's like, wait a minute,
And it might
go
still be
straight to your knee. It will help lubricate the knees and all. It's like, man, I'm getting the oil change. Let me get the oil change.
I try some bag balm.
Skip chain is a consistent missing link. A couple missing links cause a lot of vibration, hard biting, for lack of a better word. Yes. It's like an out of balance tire. I know it's on a chain, but if I know I'm missing 5 teeth on this bar, I just give me a new chain.
It's a private range.
All right. 1,500 milligrams a day, calcium and glucosamine and shit. I don't know about them shit, but let me know if you want some. I'll send you the Chinese Tiger Balm. It's crazy strong.
Really?
Yeah, that means you're going to stink to high heaven. It means you're going to make knives in the other room.
I don't know if it
Rick's
fixes this.
room.
Trust me, when I got to do this all day, tack, tack, tick, tick, tack, tack. You can tell when the day is getting late because it goes from to
Otter
Not this
says
guy,
being
though.
old is just a state of mind, but you need to keep the body working. You have to exercise, and shooting is not enough. Just keeping up with me for a day is exercise. Like, squirrel.
Oh,
where's he going now?
Well,
Where's he going now? Let's take a break. Oh, he's gone already. I hear that so much.
Where'd he
You
go?
done already? You
What?
done already?
Palm
The break's
oil.
over?
Palm oil from the movie Bulletproof Monk. There you go. Stop doing that. What?
Yeah, it's just like the doctor. It's like, doctor, it hurts every time I do this.
Yeah.
And the doctor says, well, then don't do this.
Well, it's like the one lady that said, it hurts right here every time. It hurts right here. And it hurts right here. And it hurts right here. I said, lady, you got a broken finger. You never heard that one?
That's good. I like that.
You never heard that one?
No, I've never heard that.
I know you guys out there have.
Yeah.
Tyler, are you talking about this stuff? I'm doing good, guys. Look, this is
That's unsweet.
This is an unsweetened one. Come on, focus. And this is a sweet one. So I'm doing the 50-50 still. I'm even drinking Gold Peak.
50.
For hell's sakes.
50 cents.
It's called pacing yourself, Rick. That's right. What's up, Bob, Kansas? Got Bob, Kansas out there. About time showed up, Bob. Got yelled at shooting in the mountain today by mountain bike. Oh, by mountain bikers. They were mad until I let them shoot my 22. The lady said she wants to get one now. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's going to be one expensive first gun if she's getting that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Orson, do you feel comfortable shooting that at the VOD match? You feel like that's going to do you justice? Are you going to have feet issues? Everything going to be good? What's up, Drian?
What's up? Welcome to the show. Yeah, that's a whole new platform. That I will guarantee you that'll be the only one out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's going to be on our squad, right?
Orson
On the
says
same squad?
not yet. So like I said, if you need a rifle or something, just let us know. I'll bring the CZ out or something, or at least I'll bring it out as a spare just in case that were to go down.
Night Commando. Yeah.
Oh, and Orson, what did they say? Did you share any information with them about the pivot? with a couple of threads in it. Did they say that they would look at it or what? Because I just think from an engineering standpoint, that is a weak link.
Watch the video.
Yeah, pacing.
I can tell you this much, Shaggy. When I drink unsweetened tea now, I don't want to spit it out. It's getting better. So exercising your eyes is not enough. Oh, but get it. But get it.
See you, Commando.
Have a good night, Commando. Hey, what would a nice 22 rifle be? But it has to be super cool. Oh, Bob, Kansas, you came to the right channel if you want super cool. But they're super expensive. How super cool do you want to get? How many zeros at the end? He wants a plinker.
See you, Spy Sweeper.
All right, nice Spy Sweeper. I think Bob Kansas needs to give us a little more info.
He wants something super cool. He wants a plinker.
Cheapo Cool Beater. Oh, now we're at Cheapo Cool Beater. Ruger, RPR.
That's not super cool.
It can be.
What, if you put lasers all over it?
I don't know. Cheapo. He said Cheapo Cool.
DW says, anyone have eye floaters that interferes with their aim? I actually do. I have some floaters that it's the same pattern and it's in my right eye. And sometimes, when you blink, it kind of goes up here and then floats down. You blink, it comes up here and floats down. Sometimes it will be directly center of my reticle. And I'll have to blink a couple times just to try to get it to come up because I know it's going to come back down again.
You got to time it?
I have to time it.
That's pretty
And
crazy.
some days are worse than others.
So, Bob, don't retract those. I don't know what they said, but there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Depending on what you want to spend, if you want a nice cheapo-ish rifle, what's a cheapo good rifle? I'm thinking an RPR, Ruger RPR. They're easy to find.
Or go with the Savage or something. Savage makes some good little 22s.
I'd go with the CZ.
Yeah, but it's, super cool. The CZ MTR. That's the one that Josh has. And that is a super cool
that's
rifle.
A beautiful rifle.
Has a great inset for the palm.
Yeah,
it's a wooden stock. It's beautiful.
That's actually cool.
Really nice. I mean, the CZ MTR. CZ MTR.
Yeah, and Otter says it very well. He says Voodoo guys over here. So we got Voodoos and they're very expensive. But they shoot really good. But that one that you're talking about that Josh has that is a beautiful rifle.
I think so.
Shoots really well. RPR is super cool as a Pinto.
So Drian got his
Josh. Josh is still here.
Oh, cool. Drian has a Tika T1X, which I had looked for one for a while. If they would have had it at the store, I would have bought it because I wanted to review that rifle. I'm not a big fan of the chassis or the stock that comes with it, but I think the action, all that's great. The accuracy's there.
It's a Tika.
It's a Tika. It'd be a good rifle. So,
in the words of Lloyd Emerson,
CZ.
By God. RP is super cool as a Pinto. That's right. I have a $200 Savage 17 HMR that shoots one hole.
Nice. Joey Moore's got a Terminus Zeus coming in.
Oh, dang.
Center fire.
Very nice.
CZ or a Tika on a budget. There you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I see a fly and it's a floater. Drives me nuts. Yep. Yeah, Bob Kansas says, looking at it now, CZ MTR. Perfect. Tika, also sweet. Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for as far as classic lines. I know Josh Thomas has the CZ MTR, and we had a chance to look at it. We're going to give you a review in the next couple of weeks coming up before the match, so probably about 3 weeks or so. But it's just got good, clean lines to it.
It's beautiful. It reminds me of the Anschutz
800
grip. I don't know, Thomas. How much was that?
I think it's about 800. It's not cheap, but it's a rifle that you'll be proud of for sure.
Yeah, you'll show it off and be like, check this out. Josh, how much is that thing? Let us know down below.
Okay, so Shaggy Rothman, what we were talking about was When I was doing that work to that Volquartsen action, and I'm not going to get too crazy with the drawing here, but we're going to say this is the underside of a Ruger 1022. Okay, we're going to make this really large so you guys can see it, and we're just going to say this right here is the barrel. Okay, let me get the light right. Okay, so that's the barrel. Well, on the inside of this 1022 of the actual action itself, you have a circular bar.
You can't see that.
Okay, I'm gonna make it where they can see it. Okay, so this right here has been inletted into the action itself. Okay, into the top. This right here actually has a little tiny screw in it, and this one has a little screw in it, but these are screwed in from the top of the machine Picatinny rail. Okay, so if we did a side view of this, what you've got is you've got the action comes up, and we're going to say you've got your 20-minute of angle rail that's right here.
Don't draw it too close to a rifle. They'll turn the live chat off.
They have a recessed screw that goes in here and here. Okay, they don't penetrate through though, they're flush. On this one right here, that action actually has a bar that comes out through here. I'm just going to make this very rudimentary. And this is what your little handle is attached to, your little plastic handle. Okay.
What the hell are you
So when you push this forwards, this
yeah.
linkage goes forwards like this. But when you're trying to forcefully push around out of the magazine into the chamber, where's all your tension? Because remember, this right here is not riding in this rail system. It's actually riding in the bolt itself. But all of that force is going to that little tiny screw. That screw has 2 threads holding it to the action. That's it. 2 threads. And it looks like a 832 or something. I mean, it's really small. And that right there is a bad design. And it doesn't go through it. Just, I mean, it barely penetrates to there. What they should have done was bored into this, used a larger diameter screw. And
yeah, because that could have stayed flush on the whole main.
It can go into the actual bottom of the Picatinny. I'll be surprised if that rifle makes it through a couple thousand rounds without that.
Night Silver Fox.
We'll see you.
Thomas says that rifle that he has is just under $800.
Nice.
TV wants to know what Voodoo did we both get. We got ours are a little different. So he has the MTU 18-inch contour barrel.
No. That's what I have. But what I ordered was an 18-inch kukri contour. So Mini X will have less weight to deal with.
Well, no, he's asking what we bought.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, whatever. And then the one I have is a kukri. Actually, I have exactly what he needs.
For
Ella. And then I ordered a 20-inch with the MTU contour, which is the thicker barrel. Any of those are going to work perfect. Doesn't matter. Can you doctor up a T1X stock with the T3 parts from Beretta website? Recoil pad for more
length of pull.
Like the pull. What's weird is I can't see the O's anymore. Vertical pistol grip and slip on a beaver tail forend.
I don't think you can. You might be able to, but isn't that stock like a hunting style stock on the T1X?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody else might have to chime in on that one.
Let's see. Okay, thanks for clarifying, and that's some good information to know. Looks like it needs to be reworked. Then add higher comb to the 1X.
Hour and 53 minutes. It's 11 o'clock.
It's time to go. You guys are doing great. Thanks for showing up. My alarm clock just
Larry
went
Funk
off.
says yes, they do fit. So there you go.
There we
Hal's
go.
like
Awesome.
more money bags.
Money. Yeah. You know what? I don't think anybody's ever made money watching this channel. That is for sure. 4, with Bob Kansas saying 4.
That Tika stock's about as dense as a Dollar General hair comb. T3s are compatible with T1X. Orson says, another reason why I wanted to add that headspace takes all the pressure off that real bolt as possible. Yes, that is true. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Appreciate you showing up.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. You guys take care. Be safe. See you on the next one. Night, everybody.
See ya.